Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is the news on NTAi International. I am Charles Alpha. Our sign language interpreter is Courage Ogirahi. But first, let's begin with some of our top stories. President Tinubu approves far-reaching measures aimed at enhancing welfare of defined benefit scheme pensioners. America reaffirms its commitment to respecting and valuing relationship between U.S. and Nigeria. And federal government inaugurates federal and state task forces on counterfeits, fake drugs, and unwholesome processed food. Joining us in a move set to transform the lives of thousands of Nigeria's senior citizens, President Bola Tinubu has approved a series of landmark pension reforms aimed at improving the welfare of defined benefit scheme pensioners. Now the report.
The Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate (PTAD) has announced what it describes as a new era for DBS pensioners, following the approval of key reforms by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The reforms, part of the Renewed Hope agenda, include pension increases, healthcare coverage, and harmonization efforts. The President's nod comes after a formal request by PTAD's Executive Secretary, Tolulokpe Odunaya, who sought emergency budgetary intervention to address critical pension and welfare gaps. Among the approved measures is a 32,000 naira pension increment, as well as 10.66% and 12.95% increases for pensioners of defunct and privatized agencies. In addition, the President has approved pension harmonization across all DBS beneficiaries and the enrollment of pensioners into the National Health Insurance Scheme, NHIS. Also approved is the settlement of long-standing unfunded pension liabilities, including those owed to pensioners of NITEL and MTEL and other Treasury-funded parastatals. The reforms are set to be reflected in the 2026 pension budget, with PTAD assuring that implementation will begin in phases in collaboration with relevant government bodies. Expressing gratitude, PTAD Executive Secretary Tolulokpe Odunaya described the move as a historic breakthrough and a direct reflection of the President's commitment to equity, dignity, and justice for Nigeria's retired workers. She said, "These approvals are a testament to the Renewed Hope agenda's focus on social justice and the dignity of our pensioners." The Directorate has reaffirmed its commitment to the welfare of all DBS pensioners and called for patience and support as the reforms are rolled out.
The United States of America's ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., has reaffirmed America's continued commitment to respecting and valuing relationship between the U.S. and Nigeria. At a joint media briefing in Abuja, the U.S. ambassador and the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said the new America visa policy is not to deny Nigerians traveling to the U.S. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
The United States of America and Nigeria are both enjoying several decades of bilateral relationship with shared prosperity in socio-economic and human capital development among its citizens. Barely 200 days in office of U.S. President Donald Trump, his latest administrative policies on prospective Nigerian travelers to the U.S. have been generating mixed reactions. Here, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and the U.S. Ambassador to Nigeria, Richard Mills Jr., assured that the new visa policies are not designed to deny Nigerians entry into the U.S., but to enhance service delivery while sustaining the existing strong relationship between both countries.
We had engagement with Ambassador Mills, and what he has told me that this is in no way punitive. Is just to enhance service delivery between the two countries. These are not new measures. Everyone knows that when you want to visit any country, it is your duty to ensure compliance with their laws. I mean, when someone comes into Nigeria, we expect that person to also comply with our laws here. So what I want to say here is that Nigerians must continue to demonstrate a better sense of patriotism about their country.
We encourage all applicants to provide truthful information and abide by the terms of their visas, as I know the great majority of Nigerians do. By doing that, we are going to strengthen the bonds between our countries, and we will ensure that opportunities for travel, business, and cultural exchange remain available to all of us.
This is a shared commitment to update Nigeria's potential travelers to the U.S. of the new order and guarantee their safety in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTAi News.
The UN's refugee agency is calling for urgent injection of funds to provide life-saving aid in Sudan and respond to a cholera outbreak in that country and eastern Chad. Over 873,000 Sudanese refugees have crossed into Chad since the start of the war in Sudan in April 2023, the UN agency said. Details with Justin Bermunye.
The World Health Organization says nearly 100,000 cholera cases had been reported in Sudan since July last year, as it warned of more hunger, displacement, and disease. Since April 2023, Sudan has been torn apart by a power struggle between Army Chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Mohamed Hamdan Daglo, commander of the rival paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. In Sudan, unrelenting violence has led to widespread hunger, disease and suffering, says WHO Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus. Cholera has swept across Sudan, with all states reporting outbreaks. Nearly 100,000 cases have been reported since July last year. Oral cholera vaccination campaigns had been conducted in several states, including the capital Khartoum. He told a press conference with the Geneva UN Correspondents Association. While we are seeing a declining trend in numbers, there are gaps in disease surveillance and progress is fragile, he said. Recent floods affecting large parts of the country are expected to worsen hunger and fuel more outbreaks of cholera, malaria, dengue, and other diseases. Cholera, an acute intestinal infection, spreads through food and water contaminated with bacteria, often from feces. It causes severe diarrhea, vomiting, and muscle cramps, and can kill within hours when not attended to. There has been a global increase in cholera cases and its geographical spread since 2021. Justin Bermunye, NTAi News.
And from Sudan now we take you to Israel, where Israeli military will take control of Gaza City under a plan proposed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and approved by his security cabinet, his office said in a statement on Friday. Nearly 2 years into the war in Gaza, Netanyahu faces mounting pressure at home and abroad for a truce to pull the territory's more than 2 million people back from the brink of famine and free the hostages held by Palestinian militants. Under the plan to defeat Hamas in the Gaza Strip, the Israeli army will prepare to take control of Gaza City while distributing humanitarian assistance to the civilian population outside combat zones, the premier's office said. Before the decision, Netanyahu said Israel planned to take full control of Gaza but did not intend to govern it. He told U.S. network Fox News on Thursday that the military will seize complete control over the territory where it has been fighting Hamas since the Palestinian militant group's October 7, 2023 attack on Israel. He added that Israel did not want to keep the Gaza Strip, which Israel occupied in 1967, but withdrew troops and settlers from in 2005. The Israeli army said last month that it controlled 75% of the Gaza Strip, mainly from its positions in the territory along the border. An expanded Israeli offensive in Gaza could see ground troops operate in densely populated areas where hostages are believed to be held, Israeli media have reported. And the U.S. President Donald Trump will host the leaders of sworn enemies Armenia and Azerbaijan on Friday touting the prospect of sealing a long-sought peace deal between the two regional rivals after decades of conflict. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan and Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev will attend a peace signing ceremony at the White House. And Trump posted Thursday on his Truth social media. The latest U.S. diplomatic push comes a day after Cambodia's Prime Minister announced he had nominated Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. Trump himself has repeatedly praised his own diplomatic efforts, saying he deserves the prize, while also voicing frustration about the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war and the hunger plaguing Gaza during Israel's offensive. Peace has also been elusive for Armenia and Azerbaijan, sworn enemies for decades. The two former Soviet republics went into war twice over the disputed Karabakh region, which Azerbaijan recaptured from Armenia forces in a lightning 2023 offensive, sparking the exodus of more than 100 ethnic Armenians. The two countries have held talks aimed at securing a peaceful resolution, including last month in the United Arab Emirates, but a breakthrough has proven elusive. And in Ghana, that country is observing a period of national mourning following the death of 8 people, including 2 senior government ministers in a military helicopter crash in Ashanti region. President John Mahama joined dignitaries, bereaved families, and hundreds of citizens at a solemn memorial service in Accra to pay tribute to the victims. Justin Benwini reports.
The ceremony featured floral tributes laid before a large billboard bearing photographs of the deceased, symbolizing a nation united in grief. The crash claimed the lives of Defense Minister Edward Oman Buama, Environment Minister Ibrahim Motala Mohammed, alongside 3 crew members and 3 other passengers. The victims were being en route from Accra to Obuasi for a government program targeting illegal mining, commonly referred to locally as Galamsey. According to officials, the Z-9 military helicopter went down in dense forest under unclear circumstances. Emergency services and security forces launched a recovery operation soon after the incident, but all 8 on board were confirmed dead at the scene. The loss has sparked an outpouring of tributes from across the country, as public figures, government officials, and ordinary citizens have described the death as a significant blow to Ghana's leadership and a reminder of the risks undertaken by public servants in the course of their duties. Many have also urged that the mission the victims were undertaking, combating the environmental and economic damage caused by illegal mining, be pursued with renewed commitment. In the meantime, Ghana's President John Mahama has announced a full investigation into the helicopter crash. In his first address since the accident occurred, President Mahama said flight data and voice recorders have been recovered and a board of inquiry is examining the cause. Justin Benwini, NTAi News.
And back in Nigeria, the federal government is ramping up non-kinetic strategies in its fight against violent extremism, with focus on agriculture and livelihood empowerment. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa was at the venue of the engagement involving foreign partners.
At this high-level donor and stakeholders meeting held at the National Counter-Terrorism Center in Abuja, government officials and development partners assessed progress on implementation of Memorandum of Understanding between the center and the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture
of Nigeria.
The National Counter-Terrorism Center reaffirmed the government's commitment to a whole-of-government and a whole-of-society approach in combating terrorism.
We recognize that sustainable peace and security cannot be achieved through kinetic response alone. Non-kinetic strategies, particularly those that empower individuals and restore livelihoods, are essential to building lasting peace and preventing the resurgence of extremist ideologies.
The Sahel Hub at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture is of the view the Seeds of Hope project will serve as a catalyst for reconciliation and economic revival.
The NCTC Seed for Hope initiative that brought us today was born out of a shared recognition that peace is not merely the absence of conflict, but the presence of opportunity, dignity, sustainable livelihood. Our goal is simple, yet very transformative: to support conflict-affected communities in rebuilding their lives with sustainable agriculture.
The program is a critical component of non-kinetic approach to tackling insecurity. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTAi News.
A major step towards peace and security in West Africa is underway. We will talk to you all about that after the break. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. A major step towards peace and security in West Africa is underway as regional leaders and stakeholders gathered in Abuja for a two-day strategic workshop focusing on gender mainstreaming in small arms control. Habiba Aminu reports.
As West African region continues to reel from the consequences of the post-2011 Libyan conflict, which triggered a surge in the trafficking of illicit arms, there seems to be increasing rate of conflicts. These weapons have fueled violence, transnational crime, terrorism, and violent extremism, devastating communities and claiming thousands of lives. The workshop, therefore, is a crucial step towards ensuring that small arms control strategies are fully integrated into gender perspectives and reflect the realities on ground. The two-day event aims to equip member states with the tools and knowledge to develop gender-responsive arms control policies. Participants include national commissions on small arms, gender experts, AU, and United Nations representatives and civil society organizations. The workshop is expected to yield strong regional cooperation, drafting of a gender small arms lightweight operational guidance note, and a joint recommendation on the way forward. The initiative aligns with key global and regional frameworks, such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, particularly Goal 5 on gender equality and Goal 16 on peace and justice, as well as the African Union's Silencing the Gun initiative. Habiba Aminu, NTAi News.
Now, dangerous products not only compromise treatment outcomes, but also erode public trusts in healthcare institutions. This, the federal government vows to prevent in Nigeria. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, stressed this at the inauguration of the federal and state task forces on counterfeit, fake drugs, and unwholesome processed foods. Haman Jabani reports.
The inauguration of these task forces is seen as part of a broader reform aimed at achieving universal health coverage and ensuring the integrity of the nation's public health supply chains. It also aligns with the current administration's health sector renewal investment plan, which prioritizes quality, accountability, and stronger health system governance. The initiative is believed to represent a commitment to tackling the long-standing menace of substandard and falsified products that has endangered the lives of millions of Nigerians. Provision of Cap C-24 of NAFDAC gives the initiative a strong backing. Coordinating Minister, Health and Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, emphasized that the proliferation of counterfeit medicines and unwholesome food items pose a critical threat to the nation's health system, consumer safety, and overall national development.
Together, I'm sure we'll overcome. There is no challenge that is beyond us. And let's all commit to a future where every Nigerian can trust that the medicines that they take and that the food that they consume are safe, genuine, and wholesome. This is what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is trying to get this country on a path so that we are respected.
In the coming weeks and months, the task forces are to intensify efforts towards the rollout of public awareness campaigns, leveraging on innovation and technology to checkmate those who seek to undermine health and safety standards of the country.
The fight against counterfeit products in Nigeria is urgent and ongoing. Lives are at stake every day. Women, children's lives are at stake almost every minute. And delays in action only deepen the risks faced by our people.
With this initiative, the federal government is sending a clear message. The health and safety of Nigerians will not be left to chance. Hamad Jabani, NTAi News.
And as former First Lady Aisha Buhari undergoes Iddah, a mandatory waiting period of mourning in Islam, she has continued to draw strength and support from Nigerian women. This show of solidarity again played out when Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu led wives of some National Assembly members and governors to the Kaduna residence of late former President Muhammadu Buhari to show support. NTAi reports.
With devotion, compassion, humility.
I remember him leading us on various visits, official visits around the world. His kindness, his humility, and how he led the Nigerian contingent at every point was very admirable. We pray that God will grant him eternal rest and grant the family the fortitude to bear the loss.
And God bless you all for all the effort. Honestly, the family is overwhelmed with the love and prayers and the constant visits. Some people have come from very far away. Sometimes we wonder how they made it.
Now, the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security says the ministry will begin registering and identifying smallholder farmers eligible for the federal government agricultural intervention program. This is coming as the Minister, Abubakar Kyari, seeks the support of traditional institutions to ensure the success of the food security program. Musa Babali reports.
Traditional institutions have over the years been the backbone of mobilizing, encouraging, and educating farmers in their localities. This is the rationale behind the Minister of Agriculture's engagement with traditional rulers in Nasarawa State. At the palace of Aren Egon, Ahmed Ubangari Alakuwan, the Minister Abubakar Kyari highlighted some of the interventions and support provided by President Tinubu to enhance the production of smallholder farmers. The Emir had earlier outlined some of the challenges and demands of farmers to the minister.
We kindly request for your support and intervention to ensure price stability, protect farmers from losses due to price crashes, and provide training to farmers on techniques of storage produce produced.
Abubakar Kyari assured the traditional rulers that President Tinubu is committed to addressing the challenges associated with farming in the country. He stated that the government is aware of the high cost of farming inputs and that efforts are underway to further reduce production costs.
For the first time in 2020, the government of Bola that gave out fertilizer free of charge. And that was why fertilizer pricing was taken to our life.
The minister also paid homage to the Sarkin Gudi, the father of the current governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Sule. From Lafia, Nasarawa State, Musa Baba Aliyu, NTAi News.
The High Court of Ekiti State sitting in Ado-Ekiti has upheld the World Congress of the People's Democratic Party conducted in the 177 wards of the states on March 15, 2025. The presiding judge, Justice Bamidele Omotosho, gave the verdict in Ado-Ekiti in a suit filed on May 6, 2025 by Afolabi Adedeji on behalf of elected ward delegates. The court also nullified the new delegates list submitted by the national body of the party and dismissed other actions and decisions taken after the Congress held in March 2025. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu felicitates with the governor of Kebbi State, Mohammed Nasir Idris, on his 60th birthday. In a statement signed by Special Advisor to the President, Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, President Tinubu acknowledges Governor Idris's purposeful leadership, vision, and tireless efforts in driving socio-economic transformation in Kebbi State, while fostering peace, unity, and progress among the people. The President also notes the Governor's distinguished career in labor leadership, particularly his contributions to the growth of the education sector and advocacy for workers' welfare. And this is where we end the news. Many thanks for being part of it. I am Charles Alpha Courage Shogera. He has been our sign language interpreter.